I'm not sure if many things happened this week or if hardly anything happened this week. I'm still working on the ceiling in my tiny guest house. It's fun to renovate a space that's self-contained, but it's also tricky because I don't have easy access to all the materials I need. Some days this week were so cold my hands were freezing, and some days were really sunny. Spring is nearby, but first I have to get through the last snow. Last year I let the grass on my plot grow long and it looked like a wild fairy tale. So this year I want to be a little more organized, and I've started thinking about what I want to do with this half acre I have to play around with. Just like last year, I'll be growing some vegetables, but I'm also beginning to think about a few new ideas for the rest of the plots. Before I can do anything, I want to clear the field as well as I can, and I'm starting by cutting some of the long grass from last year, which by now has all been flattened by months of wind, rain and snow. Last week I demolished the low ceiling in my tiny guest house and I exposed the underside of this pitched roof. So this week I'm going to start building a new ceiling. That is what I exposed last week. Now obviously quite a bit of this is going to be covered again. I am in Sweden, so a lot of this framing will be covered, but some of these like horizontal beams you will be able to still see. Last week I actually covered an entry point for mice. There is rolled mesh on this house, but it is in places that I can't reach right now. It was clearly put in during construction and I can't reach it, so I can't really tell exactly where there are holes in it. So that's why I actually closed bits off with timber, but those bits are also ventilation points. So when I put the ceiling back in, there will be an air gap before I put in insulation, and then the new timber pitched ceiling. I'm going to make holes with a drill to create ventilation points. I'm just gonna make lots of holes and I think that should do the trick. That was the last one. Let's clean this ceiling. And after that, I'm going to put in this air barrier. This has turned out to not be the product that I thought I was buying. It was the only item that I need for the new construction that I could actually order online. Everything else would cost a lot in delivery costs. So I got this. I thought I was buying the cardboard, which was here before, which I also used for the external wall in the house and for the water pump house. But this is a more modern version of that. It is much thinner, but it serves the same purpose, so I will be using this. After that, the fun will start because I need to buy additional insulation and timber. How does one get building materials to the countryside without a car or friends? So that will be an adventure. Stay tuned. This will be exciting. I have plans, I have exciting plans, but first we have enough to do with this. So let's go. Oh my gosh, today is absolutely freezing. My fingers are just ice popsicles. I'm going to apply the air barrier today, and do some work in the garden. I'm going to do crazy experiments. I'm going to make a tea. I need a tea. I'm going to make a tea so I can keep my little hands warm. Okay, I've got my tea, which is gonna keep me warm for a few minutes. I just got a package delivered, which is really exciting. It's heavy, it's big. You're going to think it's so funny. I think you'll probably hear more about it next week. I'm sorry. I have this hilarious adventure that I'm gonna do next week, hopefully. Yeah, you're all gonna think I'm completely mad. Oh, how much do I need? Okay, so okay, 140 times 2 is 280. I'm not entirely sure how to approach this. Wow, I think I'm happy that I didn't actually get a cardboard type, because that would have been quite heavy and even more difficult to maneuver around all of these little bits of all of the strut. But wow, this is the thing. I'm hoping it will get better as I continue. Maybe this first one is just the worst one. I mean, maybe I don't know. I'm making a sandwich now because I'm hungry. The second one certainly looks better than the first one. But I'm going to have to make sure that I use the leftovers to cover up all of these bits on the side that I had to cut around, because right now it's not airtight. I have a new idea for my garden. Originally, I always wanted to turn this into a forest. Basically, just a forest, lots of trees, because grass is boring. However, trees take a very long time to grow. So I decided on the second most exciting thing, which is wildflowers. I mean, how absolutely amazing would it be if my entire garden was just filled with fields of flowers. This is one of my favorite images. I love this so much. Well, I got myself loads of seeds. I'm gonna cover some of these areas, then I'm going to get rid of the grass and the weeds, and then basically I'm going to spring around a bunch of seeds and see what happens. So I have no idea. I might have a beautiful field of flowers this summer. I might have lots of dirt. I'm excited. I think this idea has potential. These are quite a few boxes, but I doubt this is going to be enough. Okay, this is looking silly. I've got to mention, but this is going to be the entrance to my little plot. Because cars, for some reason, I mean obviously I don't get many cars here, but sometimes when there's people delivering things, they like to come from this road and then they just keep on driving, and then they just sort of keep on going as though the whole objective is to get as close as possible to the house. You're in my garden. So I'm going to make a little gate. One day I'll have wildflowers on either side, and then I've got a gate so it's like looks cute. I don't know, this is the idea. Okay, this is looking absolutely ridiculous. I thought that I could do pretty much my entire garden. Some of the seed packets I got have seeds for about 15 square meters, and I thought that was quite a lot until I started putting this plastic on the ground. And these are large pieces of plastic and they cover almost nothing. And then to think, I need to get rid of all of the grass and the weeds as well. The good news is that I finished all of this. So now the next step is to get insulation and timber. And I don't have those materials yet, so it's going to be an adventure to get that to the house. It's been snowing for a few days now, which is amazing because I've missed the snow this year. It has been a bit boring this winter, so it does mean that probably my plans for the next few weeks are going to have to change because the roads will be slippery, so I won't be able to leave. But also the snow is making me want to cozy up inside and also just dream about my wildflower meadows. Which is, my wildflower meadows are insane. I was thinking about what I wanted to do exactly, and I started plotting where I wanted to do the wildflowers and maybe some terraces and basically the entire garden I want to have as flowers. That's obviously not going to happen in 1 year, so maybe I need to do a first year plan to kind of pick out the spots that are going to benefit most from having wildflowers. So they're kind of going to create really nice pockets of flowers, and then the rest can like stay grass or a bit wild this year. So it's something I need to think about a little bit more maybe. My wildflower meadow dreams have got me excited about the upcoming summer, so I decided to make a summer top. I got this fabric last year, but I didn't buy enough to make the dress that I'd planned to make. Just the other day I saw a picture of a gilet type top and thought it would be perfect for this fabric. I used the top half of a dress pattern I made a while ago but never actually used, so I didn't have to start from scratch. I just cut the sample dress to size and traced the pattern onto the new fabric. After that, it was a really simple design, and all I really had to do was stitch it all together. I don't have my button sewing fit here, so I had to make the button openings by hand. I had to redo one of them because I made the opening too big, but it was actually really simple. I haven't done any sewing in a really long time, and creating something myself always makes me feel like I've achieved something. It's such a simple thing to do, and sometimes it's really difficult to get started on a new project, but it's always worth it, and it always motivates me to do more creative things. Honestly, I think this is one of the reasons why I want to pretty much devote an entire room in my house to be a study and a project area. Having the space for all these creative projects will be so nice. So yeah, I can't wait to finish the guest house and get started on that one.